Hey everybody, it's Professor Parish, and we are on week 7, if you can believe it, of English 109. So there are 3 assignments due this week and 1 chapter for reading. So I just want to go over this week the assignments and kind of explain how those work and just kind of review all of those. So I'm going to go up to our assignments here. As I scroll down, I go down to week 7. The 3 assignments this week, is a grammar review and textbook review number 4, and then our discussion forum. So I've looked over your theses, your writing preps for compare and contrast, which have been really, really cool. I think a lot of you have some really good ideas. There were some of you that I think were maybe missing the mark on compare and contrast, so please make sure that you read my feedback. I've given everybody feedback. It should be emailed to you. Make sure you go to your Falcon Mail and check to see that email, because that way you'll know if everything is good to go or if you need to tweak your thesis. And if you decide to tweak your thesis and change your topic, you can always email me tonight or tomorrow, Monday. Let me know kind of what you want to do, because I'm going to go over the grammar review and textbook review number 4, but our discussion forum is going to be the draft of paper 2, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a moment. The only reading assignment is chapter 11 from pages 226 to 246 in your English skills textbook. That's the only chapter to read this week, and then I'll go over these 2 assignments here really shortly, but let's go to the discussion forum for week 7. In the last paper, what we did, because we set everything up pretty slowly, we had the peer review and the paper due the same week. I'm not a fan of that, to be honest. I would rather give you a week to do the peer review and then give you an extra week to make revisions, add more content, things like that. I don't like to rush the paper submission, so I've changed it up this week. Last week, you had your writing prep due, where you told me your topic. This week, I want you to work on the draft. So the draft of the paper in total needs to be 3 pages by the time you submit it to the Dropbox next week. So your paper is not due this week. It's just the draft here in our discussion forum. You're just doing like what you did with paper 1. You were just submitting your draft. Since you've had a little less time to work on it, the draft itself needs to be at least a page and a half. At least. If it's a page and a half, then I will accept it and that'll work. But I would prefer it to be closer to 3 pages. That way you can, if it's closer to 3 pages, you can get more feedback from me on it, but it doesn't have to be 3 total. So at least a page and a half. I would prefer you get as close to 3 as you can, but if you only get a page and a half, you'll still get full credit in the discussion forum for your post, and then respond to at least 2 of your peers by Sunday. So the forum is going to work exactly the same. If you don't remember how to attach a file in the forum, go back to week 4's video or week 5, whatever week we did that, and you'll be able to see the instructions there. But that is the discussion forum. And then the other 2 assignments are the grammar and textbook review number 4. That's going to be due on Sunday. So just to review those, the textbook activity number 4 is right here. It's on pages 114 to 116 in your textbook. Basically, it's expanding on condensed words. So you can see number 1 through 5 here. On number 1 and 2, there it's underlined for you the word that needs to be expanded. So number 1, for example, says, at the shopping center, we visited several stores. What stores were they? So I want you to tell me specifically what stores you visited. And number 2, they say that you did chores. What chores? So you're essentially taking some of these nouns and you're expanding them to be specific and tell me exactly what it is. So it's just a little bit, it's an exercise in being specific and giving specific details. In the next part is same way. And then in this final part down here, 1 through 5, what you're doing is you're taking these 3 sentences and you are combining them into 1 sentence. Now, please keep in mind, these 3 sentences here need to be 1 sentence only. If you make it into 2 sentences, I'm going to dock points. It needs to be a 1 compound sentence, meaning that you'll need to use commas. You may have to cut some words to make it sound okay, and you'll need to use a conjunction. So your book will give you an example of this, but essentially I want you to combine these 3 sentences into one. And in some of these, you can see there's more than 3. So you're just combining all of these sentences into one cohesive compound sentence. So really, it's not a hard textbook assignment. It's going to ask you to be creative and to be specific. But other than that, I think you guys will find it to be pretty easy. And then the grammar review for this week, if I'll pull it over here, is focusing on pages 448 to 450 in our textbook. This is dealing with semicolons. A comma, you've probably seen that used a lot, and I'll give you an example here. That a comma is when you list things. So I can say she shopped for milk, comma, eggs, comma, and lettuce. And then I could add another sentence and say everything was in stock. So the comma usage is right here for the list. I could also make a compound sentence out of that and say she shopped for milk, eggs, and lettuce, comma, and everything was in stock. But that extra comma there seems kind of weird, right? So what you do with a semicolon is semicolons are stylistic options to make your sentences combined, but also to not overuse the comma. So after I say she shopped for milk, eggs, and lettuce, I can delete this and comma and just put a semicolon there and saying everything was in stock. It makes it flow better. It deletes all the wordiness of it. It just is more concise. So semicolons are not necessary, but they're often a stylistic choice that writers will make to make their writing seem more specific, concise, and flow better. So what I want you to do for this grammar activity is that you're going to write the word before where the semicolon would go, and then write the word and the comma after it. So for example, I don't have my book in front of me, but if I did semicolon, however, comma, that's what your answer should look like. So you'll see in the textbook an example of this. And the same thing is for activity 7 and activity 8. You are just writing out the word, same thing. So it's just an exercise in can you spot where the semicolon needs to go. That's what this grammar assignment is. We haven't dealt with semicolons yet, so I wanted to touch base on it and give you guys just kind of an example and talk about it, but usually everybody does pretty well in this assignment. So if you have questions about the textbook or grammar assignments, please feel free to email me if anything is confusing. As far as the discussion forum this week goes, just make sure to upload your drafts by Friday. They can be 1.5 pages to 3 pages. If it's under 1.5 pages, I'm going to dock you some points. So just be sure you have at least 1.5 pages, hopefully more, to get full credit on the assignment. And then make sure to respond to at least 2 peers by Sunday as well. The final thing is that if you want to revise your cause and effect paper, which was paper 1, those are due by Sunday night as well. You do get a chance to revise papers 1, 2, and 3, but you only get a certain window. Like, I don't wait until the end of the semester for you to revise. It's just you get a couple weeks to revise that paper, and then we move on to the next one. So if you want to do revisions, you definitely have that option to do so by this Sunday, and you just email me those revisions. So otherwise, that's pretty much it for this week. Everybody's topics, for the most part, look like they will work. Make sure to check your Falcon Mail so that you can see that I've gotten back to you. Some of the topics I feel were more cause and effect, and so I'm worried that you won't be able to compare and contrast things as well. So just make sure you check your Falcon Mail, and let me know if you have any questions. As always, if you all have any concerns, let me know. But otherwise, I hope you all have a great week. Stay safe, and I'll talk to you all again soon.